Also, just from observation, would you think she has a narcissistic personality disorder or is generally just a narcissist? I know you're obviously big into psychology and I love hearing your views. I would never say I could diagnose her. I would never say she definitely has this. What I would say is there are striking similarities between someone who has the symptoms or someone who is very has the characteristics of someone who's very narcissistic and her. And I'm actually going to do a whole video about that as well. How do we know if someone is likely to be a narcissist? So the first one is extremely high self-importance. The defining characteristic of a narcissist is extremely high idea of themselves and how important they are. More than just sort of arrogance and their vanity, this goes beyond that. These people have such an unrealistic sense of superiority to everyone around them. They believe that they are unique, they are special, and they can only be understood by other special people.
The only person I will ever listen to is the person who I look up to. The only person. That's the only person. If you're a published clinician with X amount of experience, with a doctorate, with whatever, which is my next step.
Reminded me so much of my videos because in so many videos lately, I was like, just because you're a doctor doesn't mean fucking anything. Like, it doesn't mean that you know anything. You can get a doctorate in anything.
And so that's the only person I will ever take any criticism from, is another clinician and another doctor. Everyone else I do not care about.
They are too good for anything ordinary, anything normal. And not only that, they will only associate themselves with someone who they see as an equal or a little bit below them. People who don't know me, hi, I'm Sarah. I am currently studying psychiatry. I have a Bachelor of Science in Psychology and I'm doing a Master's right now. I have about 5 to 6 years of experience in the field. I am by no means a doctor. This is going to be exactly what Abby did on her channel, which is me just watching it and telling you how I feel with a little bit of background knowledge just from my studies. Before we get into this, I just wanted to quickly go over who Abby Sharp is because I didn't know who she was. I've never seen any of her videos. And I also want to talk about how Anne Boleyn chooses to support or not support medical professionals or people with qualification in the field or any kind of qualification, not even medical, but that applies to her, depending on whether or not it suits her narrative. So here's Abby Sharp. I went on Abby's website, which is called Abby Sharp, Abby's Kitchen, Science and Sass. So as Abby says in her bio, she is a registered dietitian, food writer, blogger, author, TV and radio personality, a new mum, and the founder of Abby's Kitchen Incorporated. She has got a Bachelor of Science in Applied Science for Food and Nutrition Studies, completed an accredited internship and is currently regulated as a registered dietitian by the Ontario College of Dietitians. Amazing. So if she has a Bachelor of Science in Applied Science for Food and Nutrition and I have a Bachelor of Science in Applied Psychology, I'm guessing that it is the same level, it is the same degree. I have found this article which says Canadians who didn't finish university or college and have zero regrets. And this was also featuring Abby, and she says that she wanted to be a full-time blogger and that's what she did. She registered as a dietitian and then started her own site. She launched a nutrition and food communication business and that is the Abby's Kitchen. So from what I know, she has got her Bachelor of Science and then she didn't do a Master's, she didn't do a PhD, she went to register as a dietitian. And another interview that I have found with Abby, she says that she is more accurately described as a blogger, a YouTuber and a content creator. Now, the only reason why I'm bringing this up is to show you the incredible contrast between Anne Boleyn's behaviour towards Abby versus towards people like me, versus a weight loss doctor, versus a normal GP, versus any other kind of qualified individuals. And it's mind-blowing to me. So they really believe that they are better than everyone else, they're above everyone else, and they think that they deserve recognition of that, even though they haven't done anything to sort of prove it or to earn it. You have someone like Abby who has finished a Bachelor of Science in Applied Food Nutrition, who has then not gone on to doing a Master's or PhD, but has absolutely blossomed in her blogger activity, in her cookbook writing activity, in her TV shows, in her things like that. So she has got experience in the field, she has got her qualification in the field, a bachelor's, and this is who she is. Now, you've got someone like me who also has a Bachelor of Science in a different field, in psychology, and is currently doing the Masters in that same field, and maybe possibly will do something else one day, but right now that's what I've got. We're kind of on the same level qualification wise. However, do you think that we are looked at in the same way by Anne Boleyn? No, we're not. I am regarded as just a viewer, a hater, a girl, a young girl. What does she know? However, Abby, who is much older than me and has this beautiful professional setup, this beautiful experience, done a lot more things than me, but qualification-wise, probably kind of, you know, the same amount. But it's just the fact that Anne Boleyn would never look at us the same way. She would never say like, oh, this girl also maybe has some valuable advice because she's learning this, she's studying this. She would literally just say like, you don't know what you're talking about. They will often exaggerate the things that they have done in life or just outright lie about their achievements. So we start off with my first degree. Here's I learning and studying and trying incredibly hard to pass my undergraduate degree at one of the best universities in the country. Here I am actually working in a lab in regards to neuroscience, PTSD, psychiatry and psychology. Here's some models of eye tracking that we were using. It was incredibly interesting. I absolutely loved every second of it. There's me, I'm looking like a bad bitch at my graduation because I did actually graduate and I did get my first degree in that.
And I'm doing a master's degree in medicine.
What are your career goals? I'm going to be a doctor. And when do you start medical school? September 28th. I have put down my deposit. I have already like saved myself a place on campus and stuff. So as far as I know, I'm going to med school.
Here's me actually getting into medical school earlier last year and then having to move across the country in order to go to that medical school and then work on my second degree.
I am currently in med school. Baby girl, I'm in med school. You talk about, you know, relationships at work, all you'll hear about is how good they are, how great they are, how much they contribute, how...
Like, I have had fellow clinicians and even doctors tell me that I'm doing a great job. I have had PhD offers and I have not had one person say I am not good enough.
The next one is self-validation. These people who experience narcissistic tendencies and this personality disorder, they live in a fantasy world because the real world and the actual fact, they don't support the narrative and the huge idea and the ego that they have about themselves.
Elizabeth, hello, why did you lie about being in medical school?
So they spin this self-glorifying fantasy of unlimited success, of brilliance, of power, to make their own idea of themselves valid and to feel like they are in control. Any facts or any opinions that go directly against what these people think about themselves will completely be repressed, ignored, or they will be met with extreme defensiveness.
Why did you lie about being in medical school? I got into a medical school and then I changed at the last minute, so I hope that helps. I got into Queen Mary's Medical School and then I was offered a PhD there and I declined both because I can't afford it, and then I just didn't tell anyone. So when people were like, are you in med school? I was like, you know what, I don't need people to dox me like they did last time. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I hope you can forgive me for not disclosing my personal life all the time, always, but I did actually get into Queen Mary's, so yeah.
Because I wanted to lie to you, I wanted to confuse you. So you agree. So you lie to your audience faces to control the narrative. So you outright are saying that we can't trust you at all because you purposefully want to confuse your audience at times in order to further your own narrative. So you admit that. You admit that you just lie to people through your teeth straight away. So we can't trust a word that comes out of your mouth. Okay, thank you. Because of this extreme defensiveness, sometimes even aggression, sometimes rage, people who live around these people who are in relationships or, you know, the family of this person, they learn over time to just sort of step on eggshells around this person, to tread very carefully around their denial of reality.
People, I've had family, distant family shit talk me when they haven't even finished secondary school. Back in the day, they have not finished high school and they're shit talking me because I have higher education. They're like, oh, but you don't, but shh. People on your level who are also doctors, who will also be, so, like, they will never be like, well, you're just this, so don't brag. It's always the people below. Always. The people who are just hating bitter ass fucking bitches from the sidelines will tell you that doesn't count, that's not good enough. And then people said, oh, but it's just a pass, so don't brag. Bitch, you don't have a degree. You don't have anything. Then they said, you're never gonna get a job. Got a job. You'll never be a therapist. Became a therapist. These things, and then they're like, oh my god, you can't be a real therapist because, bitch, you literally did nothing. You do nothing.
Because I feel like people just get really fucking, like, they just get so annoyed that you could possibly know more than them, or like you could possibly have an opinion on something that you've been studying. Do you know what I mean? So even if I'm like, look, this is not serious, it's just fun, it's just this, they're like, well, who do you think you are that you can say this? And it's like, no, look, she literally took a BuzzFeed quiz about is she a narcissist. Like, she did this for her channel. Why couldn't I do that for my channel? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna just sort of highlight the similarities between some of the symptoms and some of the characteristics and her behaviour and give you examples and let you make up your own mind. I'll never diagnose her, so that's just me putting it out there right now, and I will in the future videos. Never diagnose her. I don't have the power to do that. Never, you know, assume or hint at anything, but I'm just saying that I'll show you the facts and I'll let you think what you think.